Hey guys, Neptune here, and today we'll talk about Elemental Infusions. It seems that some people are way behind when it comes to it, so I have decided to make a video discussing various elemental builds. We start with my favorite, Deep. Deep has a fixed split damage with no scaling, divided equally between dark and physical. It is your best bet against turtles in this game. Since it has no scaling, you don't need any extra investment to make it work, just the base stat. It is very effective against shield, cheaping up to 30 damage, which is very good. That being said, cheap damage aside, the damage itself is mediocre, but that's the price you pay for the free cheap damage. Now, Deep has a brother, in form of Fire Infusion, which is essentially the same thing, but a different element. Seeing how some of the most popular turtling shields have strong fire resistance, Fire Infusion is not that good. Next up is Dark. Dark is basically Deep on steroids. It requires a lot more investment, but in return it grants you decent damage output. It scales with Faith and Int at the same time. As you can see, the chip damage is even higher than on Deep, and the R1 damage is pretty close to the one of pure quality. Now, neither of those, however, can be buffed. Dark has a brother too, in form of a Chaos Infusion, that follows the same logic as before. Same terms, but different element. Time to examine Lightning Infusion, which is a very odd one. Despite being weaker than Dark and Chaos, it also requires a lot less of investment, as it scales with only one stat, Faith. Because of that, it can't really match or even get close to the damage output of pure quality build. However, it's not like there are any alternatives, as if you are on the Fate build without any buffs, Lightning Infusion is your best bet. It has a twin brother as well, in form of Crystal Infusion that has a split magic damage, but enough of that. When I did my buff build comparison video, people were very vocal in regards to the fact that Fate or Int isn't limited to buffs, which is pretty much the case because Int or Fate grant you access to those elemental infusions. Let's assume you want the Pyro build that uses Pyromancy. I think Deep or Chaos Infusions are your best bet, since buffs have limited duration, and you can get a good damage output with those infusions without investing anything into extra slot or any stat above the base. It is reasonable to go for those infusions. Not only that, Chaos and Dark builds can be a valid alternative to quality builds, since the damage output is pretty close, but you gain access to multiple miracles and spells that can change the way you approach the fight dramatically. Now, despite some people calling elemental builds useless, they actually have their use and can be a valid alternative to quality, unlike, let's say, pure magic builds. With that being said, there are still some bad infusions in the game, like bleed or poison, but elemental infusions are quite decent and more or less serve their purpose. It seems to me that in this case the balance is so good that people want a bigger margin to justify using something, while in reality it seems to me as a fair trade-off. Thank you for watching, leave all your thoughts regarding the subject in the comment section below, and I'll see you next time.